What is going on, guys? It's Kevin here with ModMyMods, and it is another lovely Friday afternoon. Thank God it's actually Friday, because that means the weekend's coming, right? Get more time to play some video games, hang out with family, eat some good food, do all those good fun little activities. Thanks again for everybody joining us here today. We are going to do just a little bit of discussion here about some of the things that did happen during the week. One of them being the SpaceX launch, one of them being a Star Wars announcement from Disney, one of them also being the lovely Cyberpunk 2077, which everyone has been talking about. So I beg you and I plead with you to not spoil it, because I honestly haven't even played it yet. I've been waiting. I've been building a new PC. I've been very good about it, and I haven't bought it yet. But I want to, and I really want to play everything. I know my coworker Corey has been playing it like crazy, so that's... and he's got nothing but rave reviews about it. So, without further ado, let's get right on into it and see what we got going on. Mr. Jason Proctor, thanks for being here, my friend. I appreciate it. And again, everyone that's here, I appreciate you being here. If you guys didn't see this week, SpaceX ended up doing a high altitude test with SN8, which is serial number 8, this is the Starship. This is going to be the basically the quickest way to travel from New York City to Hong Kong, or to Australia, or anything like that. This is also going to be an easy way to get up into they're supposed to be creating a hub up in space to get you up there and then to get you to Mars. But if you guys didn't see it, this is actually it's kind of a tease, to be perfectly honest with you. So we were watching it. We're sitting here going, oh my God, 5 minutes until they actually launch. This is going to be great. This is going to be fantastic. I'm so excited. And then basically about 2 minutes in, we're like, oh wow, this is happening. This is going to actually happen. Oh my God, this is going to be great. Now, as you can see, how long this actual video is, it's not exactly what ended up happening. At 2 minutes and 6 seconds, they actually had to call off the launch because apparently there was somebody in range of the actual launch. Which they have an actual radius that they cannot exceed. And they can't have anybody in it, and they can't have people around it, or anything like that. So they ended up having to stop the test. Yep, as you could just hear right there. I don't know if you heard it. It was hold on countdown, and basically, boom, right there, 206. That's where it stops, and then you can see them starting to vent off some of the pressure inside of the actual rocket itself. Yeah, funny enough, they didn't launch the new satellite today, just like Stefan, which thank you for being here. Stefan said that the Falcon 9 scrubbed 7 seconds before the launch, which was very unfortunate. But yes, they did indeed scrub the launch for this afternoon for the new satellite that was for, I forgot who it was for. Somebody, I don't know. They send that the Falcon 9 has been up, I forgot, I think it's like 8 missions so far, 8 launches successfully. I mean, we were talking about it today. I mean, she's got some mileage on her, I mean, she's got some serious dings and dangs, that's for sure. The paint job still isn't what it was when it first came out of the factory per se. But yeah, 7th or 9th time. Yeah, I think it was 8 total, or 9th. I don't remember, to be honest with you. But the fact that they can launch a pointy end up and still land the pointy end facing the same way is pretty remarkable. So they scrubbed this, the SN8 or they pushed it back for another 2 hours. So if you click all the way down here, we actually see a countdown of actually starting to happen again. So let's get right on into it here, because this is well, let me pause it for, well, actually I got 2 minutes. I can sum it up here. The news, if you watch the news, which I'm sure that some of you do and some of you don't, and to be honest with you, a lot of it had a lot of negative annotations toward it. Watch serial number 8 crash into a fiery explosion. you know, and honestly, they were really focusing on how badly it exploded. When you really look at the whole grand scheme of things, that's kind of BS, if you ask me, because they accomplished so many different things with this particular launch, and the amount of data that they got and everything that ended up happening in this launch. It's kind of, well, it's kind of shitty of them to say it like that, you know, like, oh, well, SpaceX crashes another one. Like, really? Go shove it. I'd love to see you guys launch a rocket like this that has these capabilities and then come down like that. It was 95% of the way there. We just got to work on the landing. Got to stick the landing, you know? So, it honestly really shouldn't have been, you know, carried and portrayed that way. So that's kind of why I wanted to show this off here. It's not really that long of an actual travel time. However, the feat is that you were able to send a rocket straight up and basically get up to, I think they sent it 7 miles. 7 miles up, which I don't know if they ended up getting all the way up there. Or they sent it all the way up, and then it basically does an inverted, it does like a flip, and then coasts all the way down to the ground. And then right before it gets down to the ground, it flips the bottom end out and lands upright. Or at least attempts to land upright. Again, crazy things are happening in SpaceX and with them and what they're developing and the way that they're developing these actual rockets to fly and fly themselves. Unbelievable. So let's just watch this for a second here and enjoy this incredible accomplishment that they did yesterday. I think it was yesterday, day before, whatever. So there it goes. There goes the farm silo. I mean, SN8. And away it goes. And it's kind of hard to tell because this launch itself, the camera work is actually really good, especially when SpaceX ends up doing it. But some of the YouTubers and the guys that follow the SpaceX missions and everything like that, this rocket, this ship, is unbelievably high up in the air. Like, this camera that's here on the left has an incredible tracking system on it. But I mean, that thing is probably like a speck in the sky right now. Like, there's no, I mean, yeah, you're going to see it because there's this flaming red thing flying through the air. But to be honest with you, that thing is tiny. And as you can see over here on the right-hand side, the bottom here where the motors are actually adjusting, which everybody thought that, oh my God, that's not good. Buh! Well, actually, supposedly, it was fine. Now, obviously, that stuff catching on fire, not so great. However, it doesn't look like any of the internals were actually damaged in any way, shape, or form. What that ended up happening is that they were actually supposed to shut off one of the motors, and I guess they're supposed to shut off another motor, and then it's supposed to be just one, because what they're actually doing is they're slowing the ascent. So it's not actually just flying straight up as fast as it humanly possibly can, and they cut the motors like you do in Kerbal, because that's typically what I would do. You just cut the engines and in the coast. No, it's actually doing it slowly. So they're actually going to cut another engine here, and then it will actually pretty much almost come to a steady, like almost a stop, where it's just kind of just sitting there, a little almost like hovering, right? And then that's where they're going to do the flip, and it will then the fins will deploy, and you'll slowly coast down to the ground there. So Dave and Polly from Boston, I miss you, buddy. Hope you guys are doing great. Dave, thanks again for joining me. I'm glad that everything arrived there safely at the household today. But again, there you go. There's a pretty good example of how freaking high they are up in the sky. All right, so there goes the second motor. And everybody thought, "Oh my God, it's gonna blow!" Oh, well, those of you that didn't actually know what was going on, and honestly, I didn't really know what was going on either. But I knew that they were supposed to at least shut off one or two of the engines on the way up. However, you get to this point and you're like, "Whoa, that's a lot of." That's not really good. I don't think. Maybe it's good. Maybe I don't know. I'm not a chemist. I don't know how this all works. I'm not a rocket scientist. It's, it's not rocket science. Well, it is here. And unfortunately, I don't know a whole hell of a lot about it. But I do know, as you can see this trail of exhaust that's coming off there, which I think is exhaust, it's really not going up as fast as it originally was. So at this point, you've got this farm silo of a rocket just kind of like hanging out, almost coming to a complete stop when it comes to the ascension. So there you go. As you can see it there, starting to move the gimbal of the other motor here and kind of get the bottom end upright, or at least as close to upright as I can, and boom, there it is. There's the flip. Which everybody's like, "Oh no, it's broken." No, actually, this is exactly what it's supposed to be doing. So as you can see, you got the RCS thrusters on the front of the nose that are just slowly starting to push it down. And mind you, this is now in free fall. And the fins have deployed, and this thing is basically just belly flopping its way down back to Earth. Which is like, kind of unheard of. Typically they go crashing back into the ground, or they're kind of at an aerodynamic angle to go to a certain trajectory to come back into the atmosphere or anything like that. But in this case, because of what they're attempting to do, which is simulate going up into the sky, getting into a low Earth orbit, and then landing upright into a different area in the world. This particular case, they're just launching it straight up and then trying to bring it right back down. Now, this is after 5 minutes of flight time, almost 6 minutes of flight time here. So obviously the Earth is rotating slightly, and it was going up at an angle, so it has to come back down. Again, another thing that this footage doesn't really show is how it's actually correcting itself to come back towards the landing point. Because again, Earth is rotating. If you don't believe me, you should look at a globe. That's why it's round, because it spins. For all of you flat earthers out there that don't know what I'm talking about. So as it comes down, it's almost down to the bottom here. It's going to do this flip to kick out the bottom and then basically get ready to land. And that's where, obviously there's some sort of failure. There you go. There's the two engines, and then what ended up happening is there's supposed to be 3 engines, I'm pretty sure, to actually slow its descent. The green is not good. As we were discussing earlier, the green is actually basically the engine running lean. It doesn't have enough fuel that's coming out to actually make it slow down at the proper speed. However, the fact that this rocket can literally spin itself around from just floating its way down, and then flip itself up to actually land itself, unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So a big congratulations to the team at SpaceX and the amazing feat that they ended up completing on this test and this trial. Unfortunately, SN9 ended up tipping over in the actual bay today, so they were trying to figure out how to get it to stand upright again. But again, something that's just never been done before. This has never been done before. Just like the rocket that was supposed to go up today, the Falcon 9. It's been used 7, 8, 9 times. Who knows? But the fact that the thing just goes up in the air and then comes right back down and lands on a ship that's out in the middle of the ocean driving by itself, yeah, that's kind of cool. So again, big shout out to SpaceX and what they're doing and all of the incredible feats that they accomplished. It's just something that's so freaking cool. Like, if you saw that falling from the sky, you'd probably be pooping yourself, because I would have been, and I was when I was watching. That's like, that's not gonna land. That's not gonna land right. That's just gonna crash right into. Oh no, it's not. Oh, okay. That's relatively straight up and down. Huh? Imagine that. And then we just, we were just coming in a little too hot. Pun intended. So, pretty cool. You can go to SpaceX's YouTube site, and they have all sorts of footage of this. And obviously, if you look on YouTube, Everyday Astronaut and Scott Manley have videos on it and everything like that. So, pretty cool. Neat. But definitely something to look forward to. That's for sure. I'm looking forward to going to Australia in 30 minutes. That'd be dope. I don't know about that spin, though. I might lose my lunch. So, another thing that I did see today, I hate to be on CNET's website. However, they did do a really reasonable write-up about the Star Wars releases. They actually released the slew of new movies that they're actually going to be creating once this pandemic garbage is actually all over with and we can get back to normal life, which, give it another year or so and we might be able to somewhat return back to normal. But there's Obi-Wan's coming out, Lando's coming out, a droid story's coming out. I can't say her name right. Ahsoka, I think is how you say her name. Rogue Squadron is coming out. There's just so many different movies that they've actually listed here that are supposed to be releasing part of the Star Wars trilogy, that's awesome. For me, who thoroughly enjoys the Mandalorian series that they've got, I think it's fantastic that they're actually doing this, and hopefully they don't screw it up. Who knows? We'll see what happens, right? The other thing that I wanted to talk about is, well, this beauty. Figured we'd watch this quick. Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, I'm gonna have RTX on, that's for sure. Yeah, so I am extremely excited to play this. Some of the graphics are incredible. Some of the screenshots look ridiculous. For example, like, damn, that looks really, really good. And I would always love to get my hands on one of these, which these have gone up in price like you wouldn't believe. It's unbelievable. Let's see if we can find it here. Just 20. Oops. No, get out of here. 20. Yeah, so there's one from Canada that you can buy for about $4,000, and yeah, that's about the only one that I've found so far. There have been some that have popped up on eBay. However, you are probably going to have to pay an arm and a leg, like this guy. He's a very lucky fellow. But that being said, I definitely think that Cyberpunk is going to be one of the new games that changes pretty much how everything works in the industry. I mean, it's been in development for so long, and hopefully they've actually put enough effort and time into it, and obviously CG Projekt Red has done an incredible job getting it to work right. So I'm excited to play it. Hopefully you guys have played it as well, and it's just unbelievable. Yeah, I did see the PlayStation 4 graphic versus the PC, and it's unbelievable. It's hilarious. It's laughable, to be honest with you. Yeah, nice try, console peasants. Come back again later when you have a PC. Yeah, sorry, Moffat, you're going to have to buy this. It's amazing. And yeah, I would agree. I don't have a 3090 like some of us, Mr. Mr. Pauly, but I do have a 2080 Ti, so I'm excited to make that baby rip. So I think it should be okay. Should work. Should work okay. So, the one thing that I did see is that this build has been all over the place, which is the build from Stu Tonks, Mr. GGF himself, which is kind of cool looking. I mean, it's cyberpunky-ish. But to be perfectly honest with you, I wasn't as impressed as I was with this one, which is created by our friend Liquid House. I was a lot, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's more of a traditional water cooling build that has some really, really nice features to it, really nice curves to it and everything like that. But I'm just a fan. I'm a really big fan of this one. I wasn't sold on the other one, but it definitely has got some pretty nice features to it. And again, he did all of this work. Okay, too much glitchy. He did all of this work himself, and the two-tone loops that he's got going and everything like that. So I don't know. Obviously, to each is their own. You like what you like, but that was my 2 cents on that. Big Kev's 2 cents. Yeah, I don't know if Jay would like that so much, but that is pretty much all I had for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a little chat back and forth here. EK does need to release the FE block for the 3090. Yes, I understand. Everybody wants a 3090 FE block, but who knows when it'll happen, you know? Limited supply on pretty much everything anywhere you go. So we're going to be waiting. Even for graphics cards. Even for people like me. Because I don't have a lot of money to spend on a 3090, and I'm definitely not paying like $2,200 for one of those. That's like what the going rate is. $2,200 to $2,500. Yeah, no, I'm all set. I'm good. I'll wait until somebody has one for like $1,200. But yeah, my guess would be January or February before that actually ends up happening. But again, who knows? It kind of all depends on if we can figure out this whole situation that we're in, and if the mind control vaccine is actually going to work or not. I say that jokingly. Because any vaccine is probably a good vaccine. However, there are some people that believe that it's a mind control device from the government, and I think that's a load. So, that being said, hopefully you guys had a little bit of fun this afternoon. I appreciate everybody joining me today. Hopefully I'll have some more updates for you. I did just break down all of the stuff for the Star Wars build, so that is all set and sent off to get painted and coated and everything like that. I have a server rack that I'm going to share with you next week that we just finished up for one of our good customers, Matthew. I got another server rack that I'm working on that I'm building a custom water block for our other customer, Blake. We're going to work on that next week too. And then we got a couple more updates, so I'll have even more information for you next week on Tuesday. But until then, have yourself a wonderful weekend. Stay warm out there, stay safe, and we will see you on Tuesday. Take care.